I'm invited to talk about my relationship with God. So God has guided me through my life, through science, through this intelligent design movement. And there's some really exciting things that I want to share with all of you today. So I'm a professor, so professors like to give presentations. So I have a presentation with some slides to show you, okay? So the title of my talk will be this, Building a Passion for Mass Spectrometry and Intelligent Design in the Land of Samba and Football. Football is the real football, you know, soccer. And well, another title would be How God Has Guided Me Through Life. And this is going to be interesting, I promise you. Well, I was born to do mass spectrometry. Thomson, the father of mass spectrometry, was born to do mass spec. You can see that MS is right in the middle of his name. And Marcos also, I have MS in my name. So it was written in the stars, I would say. Well, the whole story of my involvement in science and how God guided me, it started actually in Russia. That's a picture of my great grandfather and my great grandmother. They used to live in Russia. They used to be Orthodox Catholics, but they converted to be Baptists in Russia. And they put in a bag all the statues in their house and trashed them. And for that, they were put in jail for 5 years. And after that, they moved. They were forced to move to Siberia, and they were living there for a while. And then my great grandfather decided to let the country, and he moved from Russia to Brazil. So the landscape changed a little bit, as you can see here. They were living in Siberia after my great grandfather being in jail, and they moved to Brazil as Baptists. So I'm the third generation of Baptists from this tradition that started in Russia. But I was born in Brazil then because my great grandfather decided to move. Otherwise, I would be a Russian, but I'm a Brazilian. And you know, Brazilians, they like football, they like samba, they like Formula One, they like other things rather than science. And it's really strange that I'm a Brazilian and a scientist, of course. But anyway, God guided me and I decided to be a scientist, a chemist. And then I joined this university, Unicamp in Brazil, which is, by that time was not that great, but today is the best public university in the country. So that's where my life as a scientist began, at the best university in Brazil, Unicamp, State University of Campinas. But by that time, okay, I was a Baptist. I trust in the Bible. I trust God. But then my biology professors, my chemist professors, they said, okay, Marcus, we evolve it. The Big Bang created the universe. And I believe it. And then I became a theistic evolutionist. And that was disgusting, I would say, because for 40 years, I was in the university. I was building my career. But as a Christian, I was insignificant. I was nothing. I was just a scientist that believed in God. But since I believed in evolution, in the Big Bang, all these naturalist viewpoints, I was not doing anything in defense of my faith. or in defense of God as being the creator and God as being the who set up life in this planet. So I was concentrated during these 40 years in my career. I was not doing anything about intelligent design or creationism. I was a theistic evolutionist by that time. It was discussing, I could do much, much more if I would join the university as an intelligent design defender, but anyway. But then God decided to build a scientist. I think he was preparing me to be a good scientist. So later on, I could defend intelligent design. But as soon as I joined the university, I met this lady. She's an Italian American, Connie Cacheris. She moved from New York to Brazil. She was a professor there. So I joined her group. That's the picture of the group. That's me with a blue sweater. Okay, Connie, since she was in America, she decided to spend her sabbatical at Purdue University with this guy, Professor Graham Cooks. But by that time, Professor Graham Cooks was nobody. Nobody knew him. He was a mass spectrometrist, but a really obscure mass spectrometrist. But as soon as Connie came back from his lab, Connie called me and said, Marcos, mass spectrometry is the future in science, and Cook is the most. God was guiding her to do it. And I trust her. I said, okay, let's do mass spectrometry. By that time, mass spectrometry was nothing. It was just a technique that very few people would use. And Graham Cooks was nobody. But and then I decided to do my postdoc there at Purdue University. It's a picture. I was working with Graham Cooks. And this is a picture from the group. My two daughters are there in this picture too. I'm in the right side at the end. And I was doing gas phase ion chemistry by that time. And that's interesting because I discovered a reaction, and this reaction became quite famous, and it's now called the Eberlin reaction. So I have a reaction that's named after me. It's God plan. And then I came back to Brazil. And by the time I got to Brazil, mass spectrometry became, since some new techniques were developed, the most important technique in science. You know, from being an obscure technique that nobody, very few people use, suddenly, because of John Fane discovered electrospray. I don't know if you know anything about this technique. This technique started to be used in proteins, in clinical, in hospitals, and then it became the most important instrumental technique in science. And as soon as I came to Brazil.
Hi, Grammy's little precious one. How are you?
You need to mute that someone.
Oh, you were playing catch? Were you? The ball? Yeah?
I think it's Trina.
Huh? You catch the ball, huh? What you guys doing?
Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, and then when I came back to
dressed up, my love.
When I came back,
So happy.
Hey Julie, I guess you can mute her. Yeah.
Why don't you mute everybody and then bring back
Yeah.
up?
Okay, nice. And as soon as I come back to Brazil, suddenly I was the only one in the whole country that had experience with mass spectrometry. Very few of us in Brazil. And then I was getting funded because I was in the right time working with the right technique, mass spectrometry. So I was able to build this really nice lab, getting funded as much as I could ask for, I would say. And then I set up a really, really nice lab in Brazil, lots of instrumentation, lots of students. And I'm very sure that God did it. He guided me to work with a technique that was obscure, but would soon start to be the most important. And when I came back to Brazil, I was the only one, the only one, at least starter in science that could do it. And then I set up this lab at the University of Campinas. I'm pointing with this arrow, and the Thomson Mass Spectrometry Lab. I named the lab after Thomson, the father of mass spectrometry. And it soon became the center of the universe. The really, really nice lab. So what are the outcomes of this? I was there for 25 years at this lab. Well, we were able to publish 1,100 papers. You don't have any idea how important this is in Brazil. You know, a scientist from Brazil that can publish 1,100 papers, it's amazing. I'm top 3 in chemistry now in Brazil. It's really amazing because I'm working with instrumental technique, but still I can compete with people in many, many other areas. I think God was preparing me to do something very special. So I was able to supervise more than 200 Brazilians and as doctor and postdocs, as I could say it. But while I was there at Purdue University, my 2 daughters at that time, Livia and Thais, they were with me. And Livia, she also got in love with mass spectrometry. And then she came to do her post graduation with Grant Cook's. She was the first second generation astronaut at Grant Cook's lab at Purdue University. She graduated from Purdue, and then she started a very brilliant career. She was the first ever mass spectrometry to use a mass spectrometry in the surgery room. It's amazing, really, really amazing. And for that work, Livia got close to 30 awards, very important ones. Like this is the Nobel Nobel laureate signature award from the American Chemical Society. She was in the Forbes list 30 under 30. She got this L'Oreal Women Award in Science. And I think this is the most important. In 2018, she got the Genius Award from MacArthur Foundation. It's a kind of Nobel Prize for US researchers. Olivia is pointed here. So now she's a professor, used to be a professor at University of Texas at Austin, but now she moved to Baylor College of Medicine. So this is also a way that God was guiding me and Livia also, to show that people who trust him can do excellent science. Actually, 90% of the Nobel laureates are people that believed in God. And I'll also establish in Brazil the Brazilian Society of Mass Spectrometry, which is now the 3rd largest society in the world. Some meetings that are organized here, some pictures, really young people join us, very nice, dinners. I was for 2 terms the president of the International Mass Spectrometry Society. It's amazing for a Brazilian. I'm just a Brazilian, remember it, just a Brazilian. And I got the Thomson medal. What a coincidence. Thomson was a great he believed in God. There's a declaration from Thomson. He said, peak after peak, spectra after spectra, the truth that is revealed through science is great are the works of the Lord. So I got this Thomson medal, which is kind of the most prestigious award in mass spectrometry. So the conclusion, part one, building a passion for mass spectrometry in the land of samba and football. Yes, we did it. It's amazing. And what is next to infinity and beyond? But then I think God's decided that I was preparing to do something more important. And the second part of my presentation, the title is this, on the origin and evolution of intelligent design in Brazil, or TDI Brazil, by means of intelligent design, okay? I was doing science. I was a theistic evolutionist, insignificant as a Christian in science. Nobody knew Marcus Eberlin. I was actually promoting Darwin. I was promoting naturalism. I was saying, okay, that we evolved, Big Bang create the universe. There is a God, but science is great. But then in 2008, in 2006, I discovered intelligent design. Throughout this guy, Anésio, he had a blog promoting intelligent design in Brazil. I also read Darwin's Black Box. And Anésio had this blog, Desafiando a Nomenclatura Científica, is challenging the scientific nomenclature, something like this. So I discovered intelligent design. And then I discovered the mistake, the big mistake of my whole life. I believed that evolution was true, and I was a scientist that was not defending that God made everything. So I gave up evolution. I gave up the Big Bang. I turned it back to the Bible, to Genesis 1, 2, 3. And then I became a creationist. I believe the earth is young and the universe is young. So I'm the heretic, extremely heretic now. Now I trust the Bible fully. In all his words. I don't make any compromise anymore. And then I decided to defend intelligent design. But by that time, all the members of intelligent design in Brazil would fit to a combi, to a van, as we used to joke here. But then with this guy, Reverendo Augusto Nicodemus, he was the chancellor of Mackenzie's University. He decided to make a conference on creationism. And he said, oh, there is intelligent design. Let's invite those people. And I was invited to come. My picture is there. And it was great because we had 5 editions of this conference. They call Darwinism Today. And I was there defending intelligent design. Michael Behe came, Stephen Meyer, all the big names of intelligent design came to Mackenzie's University. Some pictures here, you can see Meyer, some other guys that you may recognize. And we invite all the important people for intelligent design. So my career as an intelligent design defensor started in Brazil. And in 2014, I was the president of the Intelligent Design Society. I'm also the president of the Mass Spectrometry Society in Brazil, but I became the president of the Intelligent Design Society. And then we organized the first Brazilian conference on intelligent design. And some pictures. We had 350 people that attended that conference. It was great in many ways. So intelligent design just flourished in Brazil from that conference. And then I started to give talks in Brazil, in university, college, defending that intelligent mind made the universe and made life. We know his name, of course, but as a scientist, I was defending that an intelligent mind, and people start to come to my talks. But in 2016, I was at the university, Mackenzie University. I was able to convince the director, the head of the university, and the chancellor to come to US to Discovery Institute, and then we established a collaboration between the Center of Science and Culture, Discovery Institute, and Mackenzie University. They now have a collaboration. And from that, we decided to have a center here at Mackenzie's University for Intelligent Design. We made some conference. We invite Bihi again, Douglas X, you can see from this picture. Brian was here also. We have the first course of intelligent design here at Mackenzie's University. Some professors, Brian, Douglas is there, Bihi at the back. And we became inviting speakers from the US to come to Brazil. Jonathan Wells was here. And it was really nice because this Discover Institute Center at Mackenzie University, major Brazilian TV came to advertise it. And it was a really, really nice program that they show on TV, Noble Time, Sunday night, and 11 minutes, they were talking about intelligent design. And we calculate that 3 million people view it online, instant viewing, and it's on the internet. You can see here 2 years ago, 500,000 people could have seen it in the internet. We estimate by now that 5 million people have viewed this program, which is really, really positive. Brian, Douglas, Bihi, and myself, we were talking about intelligent design in that program. And some debates also. This is a really, really famous debate program at a radio in Brazil. And I was there defending intelligent design. We estimate now that more than 1 million people have seen it. And I should not say it, but I'm really good on this debate. I killed that guy. From the comments, you can see it. And of course, I get a really bit famous, and people are inviting me to come to TV shows, programs, to universities. I have talked in more than 50 different universities already about intelligent design, some logos. I became a fellow of Discovery Institute, so I'm quite often invited to conference and meetings like this. Was really nice in Nice, France, the most exciting conference ever on intelligent design, I tell you. We also organized the first European conference on intelligent design by the Brazilian Society of Intelligent Design. We are now exporting intelligent design to Europe. Some pictures from that conference. I was also at this conference in Calgary, Canada, talking about foresight. I'm also in the list of this skeptical of Darwin list. We just commemorate more than 1,000 members. I'm talking in this video. I was in this Dallas conference, gave a talk on foresight. It's amazing that 40,000 people have seen it already. And I wrote already 3 books. Fomos planejados, we have been planned in Portuguese. Foresight, that has been translated into Portuguese. And this, the scientific debate or of the century. It's intended for kids. And I translated Darwin's Black Box and Darwin's De Wolf's to Portuguese, which is great. Foresight is amazing. If you have followed it, once it was top 1,000 in the Amazon, top 1,000. Can you imagine it? A Brazilian writing a book in English about intelligent design and being in the top 1,000 books at Amazon. Is this natural? It's not. It's supernatural. It's God doing it. Can I be, in the list of the 50 more important scientists in Brazil still publish a book on intelligent design like this? It's amazing, isn't it? And now I moved from the Unicamp to Mackenzie's. And now we have a lab in Mackenzie's University at McMass, Mackenzie's lab for mass spectrometry. And now we are running studies on intelligent design. I'm studying why nature chose amino acids. We are comparing the proteomics of chimpanzees and humans. We are studying the evolution of ribosomes. We are writing papers. We are writing review articles. I have 4 students that are working with me on intelligent design research projects. So what's next? It's the sky is the limit, or I would say God's plan is the limit. He's been guiding me through all this. So finally, the acknowledgements. I'm poor and needed. I'm only Brazilian, that like soccer, samba, football, beach, and everything. I don't even speak English so well. You could see it. But God has used me in an amazing way. He turned me to be one of the most important scientists in the world. It's not in the America. But then he turned me to be a defender of intelligent design, to build a passion for intelligent design in Brazil. And it's happening right now. Intelligent design is growing so well. We have a society with more than 2,000 members. We are publishing books. Now we have a press, Coed Press. It's a press that publishes intelligent design books in Brazil. So I'm poor in need, but the Lord think of me. So thanks God. God has guided me. He saved me from being an insignificant scientist that trusted in him, but in evolution. And he prepared me to defend that he made life. He made the world by the power of his words only. Thank you very much.